Hey there guys, Credulity26 here, coming at you with our playoff video that I promised I'd do. I know a couple people kind of wanted me to. We have reached the playoffs for Season 2. It's been a really great season. It was a lot better than Season 1. Season 1 was still really good. But, I mean, we had so many more participants and just a lot of talent, and everyone just had a lot of fun. We gained a lot of content creators, so people got to watch videos and stuff, and I think we're really making a great thing here. So I think it is great that we can kind of sit back and just break down the playoffs a little bit for each of the leagues, kind of make some predictions. I don't know, I'll just have some fun with it, and I hope you guys will too. So I'm just going to go in order, start in Origins League, which is the first league, and the Johto Conference. So in the Johto Conference, we have red and blue division, much like the Gen 1 games. These are our 4 players that made it to the playoffs. We've got JM taking the #1 spot with the Yorkshire Stoutlands. I've got the teams listed here, most notable ones kind of near the top. He's got Clefable, that's one of his favorites, we all know that. JM is really great with Clefable, uses it really well, and it is terrifying to face in draft. It has so many options. He's got Mamoswine, Mega Latios. If you watched my Mega video, you know the Latis are really good. Cobalion is very strong, tier 2. Darmanitan, Slowbro, one of the best in my opinion. Bulky Waters, Toxapex, another great Bulky Water, so he's got 2 options there. Doublade, Rotom, Scrafty, Oricorio. In second place, we got the Toronto Maple Leafeons with Lo-Fi. Also going 8-2, but taking our second place in the division, or in the conference. He was actually in the red division. Latios and Infernape and Mega Diancie, and Ferrothorn and Gyarados. Kind of the really big hitters for Lo-Fi. All of those are really strong. I know when I faced him, Gyarados gave me problems the second time I fought him. Ferrothorn the first time. Is really tough team to work around everything. Also, Donphan, everyone's been talking about Lo-Fi and his Donphan. Donphan's been really great. Araquanid is good for a bulky water, and then Linoon, Miltank, Skuntank, all great. Next up, Black Viper got 3rd place with the Sad Buffalo team. Tyranitar Mega Venusaur Core, I've talked about a lot this season, is really strong. Also has Togekiss, which has won a lot of games. Viper's done really well with Togekiss, and I really like that Pokemon. Alakazam, obviously a really big hitter. Rotom Heat, Jellicent is an insane bulky water. Durant, Cloyster, I don't know if we've really seen much of Cloyster, sadly. Gallade, Palossand. Black Viper actually really likes Palossand. Palossand's pretty great. Really good tier 5. And then 4th is me, taking the very last spot, just barely squeezing in with a 6-4 record, the Colorado Kabutops. This is the rain team. We've got Pelipper and Swampert with Coco, Excadrill, Breloom, Cresselia, Goodra, Pangoro, Eelektross, Granbull, Jinx. And I mean, on paper, it looks like a really scary team. I do think it's a little more predictable than I might have hoped. It's tough to come up with some options, but I think I have them. So the way this works with the playoffs, the #1 and the #4 fight each other. So me and Jam are going to be going at it this week, and then Lo-Fi and Viper are going to be fighting each other, and then the winners of that face each other before the finals for the conference, where they'll fight the Johto Conference winner. So looking at all these, I mean, I do think Lo-Fi and JM have the stronger teams. Overall, I think all the teams are really good in their own way, though. It's kind of hard to say. I think, as far as me, because I mean, I could talk about myself a bit with my team. I know I can beat JM. I did beat JM. JM's good, but I was able to actually take him down. I think Excadrill did a really good number on JM. Was a little tough for him to handle. I expect him to bring something in the rematch to try to handle that. Plus, you know, Mega Swampert, it was the first time I really got a lot of use out of Mega Swampert. JM struggled to handle the rain a little bit. I expect he'll, again, bring something to counter that. I think JM can counter it well, but I do think out of the 3 other people here, this is my easiest matchup that I could have gotten. Lo-Fi being the hardest. Lo-Fi beat me twice, is very strong. His team is very hard for me personally, to handle. And then Viper I went 1-1 with. His Mega Venusaur is a really big problem, I think, for my team. And then Tyranitar stops the rain, so... but overall, I think I have a decent chance against Jam. But then it comes down to Black Viper beating Lo-Fi, which I don't think is likely. To be honest, if I'm being realistic, I think Lo-Fi is probably going to win Kanto. Looking at the teams on paper and kind of how everyone's done, I think Lo-Fi is probably the best out of these. Has the best chance. If he beats Viper, there's no way I'm gonna beat him. I'll try really hard, but I think second, I think Jam will take it. But taking like a more personal pick, I would pick Jam. I think his team is great. I think he's done really well. I rated him very low in the draft, and he's done phenomenal. Took the #1 spot in this conference, so Jam, I think, deserves it a lot. Kudos to you, and I really look forward to our match. But like I said, I think realistically it's going to be Lo-Fi. Hopefully Jam. I have nothing against Lo-Fi, but I think Jam's fought really hard to get here. That's my prediction. I don't think I'm going to make it to the finals. I'd like to. I'm glad I made the playoffs at least. I've made playoffs both seasons, so I'm proud of that at least. But I don't think I've got this conference. I'm giving it to the realistic pick Lo-Fi, my personal pick Jam. So the Johto Conference, we've got Brendan, or Eris Prey, with the Pixelated Outrage team. If I went back and did my draft analysis again, I would say easily the best draft in Origins. Celesteela, Serperior, Altaria, Gliscor, Volcarona, Milotic, Jolteon, Azelf, Sneasel, Weezing, and Pessimian. Like, Weezing and Celesteela were two of my top picks in my tier videos, if you watched those. Mega Altaria, you know, is good. Serperior, you know, is great, especially in Tier 2. It's going to Tier 1 next season. Volcarona's insane. Milotic is arguably the best bulky water you could ask for. It's a hard team. Brendan went undefeated with it, 10-0. I don't think there was much competition for him with it. It's just a solid team. Next up, second place, we've got the really good team. That's Adam's team, which is the Bulu team. Bulu, Zygarde, Mega Mawile, Suicune, Stakataka, Decidueye, Blaziken, Drapion, Helios, Claydol, Mr. Mime, Dragonium Z. So obviously Bulu and Mawile there are the big core pieces, I think. Zygarde is really strong. Also in a Tier 1, I am actually very surprised that Adam got Bulu, Zygarde, Mega Mawile all on one team. I think that's really good, and I think that's going to give Brendan a run for his money. That's a strong horror. Suicune's a good water type, but then outside of that, I mean, Claydol's a really strong Tier 5 pick. I don't think Drapion is the best pick for Tier 4. It's good with Bulu, though. Heliolisk, again, good with Bulu. Blaziken hasn't done too much, but I think it's good enough that it's going to help him. I think I put Adam kind of near the middle, and I'm still kind of there, but I'm leaning a little more towards the strong edge. I think just Bulu Mawile is strong. Mawile's banned for Season 3 now. We took a vote. So this is the last time we'll get to see it, so we'll see how he does. Winnipeg War Turtles is Toast Machine's team. We've got Landorus T, Tangrowth, Megalopunny, Empoleon, Haxorus, Scyphagrigus, Salazzle, Zorark, Comfey, Mesprit, Zebstrika. So the standout here, Landorus T with Flyneum Z. Super good. I convinced Toast to trade for the Flyneum. Flyneum is really good. And Landorus is one of the best Tier 1s. Megalopunny is the best Mega, in my opinion. If you saw my Mega video, you'll know that. Megalopunny is really strong, and I think really helps this team a lot. I think Tangrowth is a little underrated, and it's definitely really strong. Empoleon Spun, we are moving that one down to Tier 3 this next season, but it's good. Mesprit was the best Tier 5 easily this season. We're moving that one to Tier 4. It's way too good for Tier 5. But Toast made a pretty decent team. I wouldn't say it's my favorite team, but it's really good, and I'm proud he's made it this far with this team. I think it's really great. And then New York Gliscors by the Mighty Gliscor. Tornadus T, Azumarill, Mega Slowbro, Kyurem, Blissey, Nidoking, Amoonguss, Incineroar, Bronzong, Hitmonchan, Electrode. So Tornadus T is really good. That's one of the ones that when I was going through my tier 1 video really kind of surprised me at like just how good I think it can be in draft, and I think Gliscor's proved that getting this far. Mega Slowbro was one thing that I was a little hesitant with Gliscor's team about in my analysis video. I don't think it's a great pick for a Mega, but he took it and it's got to the playoffs, so it's done something. I don't think we've seen Blissey much, sadly, so I'm not sure how good it's doing for him. I mean, out of these teams, it honestly kind of goes in order of my favorite teams, and then, I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest with Johto Conference, Brendan is not only my, like, personal favorite choice to go, just because the team is insane, and I can't believe they drafted a team just that crazy, but it's the no-brainer pick, I think. If you're a betting person, you pick Brendan all the way. For Johto, I think Adam has a good shot. I think Adam's going to be toast if I had to guess. I think they've gone 1-1 though, so who knows? Could go either way. I do think I don't think Gliscor's going to be able to take out Brendan too easily. It's going to be a tough fight. Can he do it? Probably. We'll see if maybe Brendan falters in the playoffs. It's happened last season. Hubie was undefeated and then lost the first game in the playoffs, so it's totally possible. But I mean, personally, I don't know if Gliscor's team can do it. I hope so. It's going to be tough. Superior, obviously, looking at the team, like Azumarill and Slowbro aren't going to do much to Superior. But I mean, against Superior, you do have Nidoking. Nidoking's a decent answer. Tornadus T is going to be fine. Watch out for Hidden Power Ice, obviously. I mean, Blissey can tank. Bronzong's actually decent. Superior. I mean, Superior has been the one we've all been worried about and talking about, and it's good. But, I mean, the thing is, yeah, maybe you handle Superior, but then you got Celesteela and Volcarona and Mega Altaria and Gliscor to handle. And Gliscor was my top tier 2 pick. Can do everything. Gliscor does everything, and it does it pretty well. It's really good. So, I mean, I just gotta say, I like all the teams here, but I gotta give it to Brendan. Brendan's gonna take it, I think, easy. If anybody can take out Brendan, I will be all, like, hype train on that team and be like, this person took out, like, the insane draft that this should never have been allowed to be drafted. It's going to be crazy. So if Gliscor can take out Brendan, I will put everything on Team Gliscor. I'll be there. But I just don't see it happening. I think Brendan's got it. So my guess, Brendan Lo-Fi is the practical, like, final for Origins, but I would like Jam and Brendan personally. It's just kind of my predictions here. So moving on to the Generations League, the Hoenn Conference. So we've got the Sapphire and Ruby divisions. We've got number 1 Hassam, fellow moderator for PCL. Also has a Bulu team with Conkeldurr, Latias, Empoleon, Gligar, Araquanid, Jolteon, Amoonguss, Typhlosion, Medicham, Archeops. Really strong team. Doesn't rely on Bulu like Adam does, which I'm a little less inclined to think that's so much of a bad thing, but I do think it's good. Like, Bulu really helps back up Empoleon really well. I think that's a great combo there. Jolteon, obviously, not taking much from an Earthquake is really good. It's pretty strong. Typhlosion, if Hussam brought it, also works well with Bulu. You've got a decent Grass, Fire, Water core there with Empoleon. I think Conkeldurr, though, is one of the big surprises. I knew Hussam would pick. It's one of Hassam's favorite Pokemon. Assault Vest is really, really good. But yeah, I think... Sorry, I think the music just stopped. But, Yeah, no, I think Assam is a really good team. Second, the Toronto Tyrannotars. That's S Life's team from the Ruby division. We've got Latios, Mamoswine, Megamanectric, Manaphy, Mandibuzz, Cobalion, Florges, Machamp, Venusaur, Torkoal, Aggron. I'm not at all surprised that this is the second place team. I think, honestly, comparing it to Hassam's team, I like S Life's team a little more. I like the Mega Manectric in there, the Tier 2 Mega to get some better picks. Mandibuzz is crazy good. Latios, Mamoswine. Mamoswine obviously was my second Tier 2 pick. Really strong. Manaphy's okay for a water type, not my favorite, but I think it's alright. It's pretty good. You got Venusaur in there, it's not bad. Decent grass type, Machamp. I like it a lot. I like S Life's team, and he's done really well with it. 7-3, it's pretty good. Next up there is Brian, the Crystal Bay Croconaws. So, Dragonite, Excadrill, Mega Alakazam, Terrakion, Klefki, Gastrodon, Drapion, Miltank, Electros, Mesprit, Magmortar. Another team that I just love. I have Excadrill and Electros on my team, so kind of a soft spot for Brian there on the teams. Mega Alakazam is crazy good. One of the fastest things ever. Even some Scarfs don't outspeed it. Terrakion, we moved up to Tier 1, and Terrakion is one of my favorites. I love Terrakion. So, really good there. Gastrodon, we moved up from Tier 5 to Tier 3, and it's still on one of the best teams. So, and then we've got the Hyrule Jolts, Aquavitae's team. Coco, Ferrothorn, Mega Charizard X, Hawlucha, Starmie, Jellicent, Swellow, Serena, Delphox, Weezing, Mudsdale. So Aqua gets 4th place here, but I think he was one of the favorites early on. The team seemed really, really strong. He is building a Coco Hawlucha team, which is always scary. That's like OU scary. And then you throw Ferrothorn and Mega Char X, and then even Starmie. Like, that's really, really strong. So I'm surprised that Aqua is only at 4th place here, but I think it's great. I think he's definitely earned his playoff spot. Coming down to who's going to get where. So Hassam and Aqua, it's going to be a tough fight, I think. 2 Tapu teams. Hawlucha is a tough one. Hawlucha is going to eat Tapu Bulu alive. So Hassam will have to come up with some answers there. But I mean, overall, I mean, Aqua also has the Electrium Z. Like, if you didn't show me their records and I didn't know whose place who was in, I would probably give it to Aqua Vitae to win that one. I think the team is better. But I mean, Hassam is just on a roll, so Hassam might win that one. Brian and S Life, I love both the teams. Like I already said, I think they're really great. I think Brian's got the edge, and that might just be biased just because so many of my favorite Pokemon are on Brian's team. Again, S Life, I love Mandibuzz, I love Mamoswine though. It's tough to pick. It's really tough with Hoenn. There's so much talent. I think the practical pick is going to be S Life here. As far as who's going to make it to the finals, I would say S Life. If I had to pick just my favorite team, I would say Brian's, the Crystal Bay Croconaws. Easily my favorite team on this roster. But I think S Life has a decent chance. So again, not even the number 1 pick. I think S Life's got it. But this is going to be a tough one. Like I said, this is like really close. I'm not saying like, oh, S Life's got it by a landslide. I think it could be anyone's game. I'm just making my own prediction. The S Life probably has the better team overall. But again, we'll have to see how it goes. Sinnoh. So Sinnoh, everyone knows. You can look at those battle records. Sinnoh was a mess. An absolute mess. To sort through to figure out who was in which place. But I think I got this right. No, I don't. I actually don't think I have this right. Because I think Lovecraft's fighting Lotus. So then Fury would be 4th. I might not have the places right, but these are the 4 people. Crow is the number 1 seed though. Victini, Clefable, Mega Scizor, Toxapex, Hydreigon, Cofagrigus, Donphan, Lycanroc, Dusk, Whimsicott, Lurantis, Masquerain. So Toronto Star Raptors, this is a really, really strong team. I talked a lot about Victini in my Tier 1 video. Victini I think is crazy good. Clefable is a monster. Toxapex is great. Hydreigon is one of the best Tier 2s, easily. Donphan is crazy good, all the stuff it can do. Lycanroc hits hard. Lurantis, we've talked a little bit about what it can do. It's like mini Superior, it's just slower. And then you've got Masquerain that can set webs. I like Mega Scizor overall, but I think, like I said in my Mega video, it's a little weaker of a Mega as far as draft. But here, it fits for a Steel type. There's no other Steel type, so it's done Crow well. Overall, I think Crow just has a really strong team. It's hard to prep for. There's just so much going on with it. So, again, I'm trying to figure out who was in which place now. But I don't remember. I might have some of these records wrong. Like I said, Sinnoh was a mess to sort through. I know it's these 4 people, though. I'll have to go double check. But, so the Primordial Cold Surgers, Fury, has Celesteela and Superior. Remind you of anyone? Brendan's team, it's pretty much that same start there. Mega Lopunny has the number 1 Tier 1 and the number 1 Mega. Alolan Marowak, B-Sharp, Kommo-o, Slurpuff, Rotom Heat, Slowking, Zangoose, Smeargle. So those top 3 are really good. When you go down from that, I feel like the power levels kind of fall off from each tier. Alolan Marowak, we're moving down to Tier 3. It's not quite good enough as a Tier 2. It's a decent fire type. I used it last season, and I had some luck with it, but overall it just didn't get me where I wanted it to. B-Sharp is good for a Steel type. I think there's better, but it's good. It's got priority. It's got setup. It's really nice. Kommo-o is good. Slurpuff has proved itself. Rotom Heat, I'm okay with. Slowking, I don't think is great. Zangoose, Smeargle is fun to tech. Obviously, you can bring anything on it. But it's like, yeah, Fury's team is just kind of in the middle with me. It's got like those top 3 Pokemon are scary. Like, absolutely terrifying. I would hate to face a team with those 3, but I think the power level kind of falls off, so it makes it a little more manageable. Lovecraft, everyone already knows, probably my favorite. The Miskatonic Tentacruels. So Salamence, Volcarona, Mega Mawile, Rotom Wash, Crocodile, Slowbro, Crobat, Roserade, Uxie, Verizon, and Regice. I love this team. I love it so much. I think there's so much good going for it. Obviously, Mega Mawile, which we're banning, is super strong. Volcarona has proved itself really strong this season since we moved it down to Tier 2. I think it's okay there, though. It's easy to work around if you can. Hard to manage once it gets a setup, though, so you just have to be careful. Salamence, I think, is a really good sleeper pick in Tier 1. I think it's really strong. I like the Intimidate or Moxie options. It's really nice. Rotom Wash was an interesting one. I'm surprised to see it up here. I do think it's a good bulky water. Obviously, I mean, it makes OU teams a lot, but I just think in drafts there's a few better options. Rotom Wash is very basic in what it does. It's easy to predict, but it's still good. Crocodile I had last season and was easily my MVP from last season. I loved Crocodile so much. I used it so much, and it always got shit done. Crocodile was great. Slowbro, best Tier 3 almost. Crobat is crazy good. Roserade is crazy good. Uxie is crazy good. Verizon is okay. It seems like he was digging deep for a grass type, but that's okay. Regice I think is fun enough. I just love Lovecraft's team so much. There's so many cool mods on it, and I really like it. Alright, White Lotus, bringing in the end here. We've got Greninja, Azumarill, Mega Altaria, Jirachi, Arcanine, Shaman, Galvantula, Type Null, Hitmonchan, Articuno, and Claydol. So White Lotus also has a Pokemon that we banned, Greninja. We finally decided to ban Greninja. It's crazy good, too good, in my opinion. It can bring any typings if it wants, change its type at will, basically. Um, Azumarill is okay. It's on. It made it in both leagues to the playoffs, so it's obviously good enough. Mega Altaria, crazy good Mega. That was like my sixth favorite in the Megas, in the tier 1s. And that's really good for a UU Mega to make it up that high. It's got a lot of options. And I think the typing itself is just crazy. Jirachi, crazy good steel type. Best Wish Passer, best flincher. It's so good. Jirachi's scary. Arcanine is really good. Physical Fire. Shaman's crazy. I wouldn't say Shaman is the best. It definitely did make my tier 3 list, but it wasn't too high. Galvantula is an all-time favorite of mine. I used that last season. Really fun. Type Null has been a monster since season 1. It's the most used Eviolite user, I think, for draft, and it's proved itself with it. It's so good. Hitmonchan, I'm not a fan. Articuno, I think it's fun enough. And then Claydol is the best tier 5 spinner, one of the best tier 5s. All these teams are super strong. Gotta say, there's a reason Sinnoh was so tough. All of these are crazy good. Obviously, my favorite pick is Lovecraft. I hope Lovecraft takes the whole thing. I think his team's so great. I love his mascot. I love the Lovecraftianness of it, you know? I love that, and I think it's really fun. I love that he has Roserade. I can't remember if he's the one that picked it up after my tier 3 video, or I praised Roserade and wondered why pretty much nobody picked it. Roserade's crazy good. Best hidden power user in the game with Technician. Obviously Mega Mawile is getting banned. Crocodile, I love. I think Lovecraft's team is great and crazy and good. It's obviously not unbeatable, being at 6-4. But what would be the practical pick here? That's where I'm really struggling, but I do think it's probably Crow. I think overall Crow has the better team. Fury, if you just had to narrow the team down to 3 Pokemon, Fury would take it. Just looking at those first 3, they're so crazy good. That's so many good picks right there. I think Lotus with Greninja can do something crazy. I really think Sinnoh, even in playoffs, it's still anyone's game. Anyone could take it. I hope it's Lovecraft. The practical is probably Crow, but that's a very iffy, like, it could go either way. But yeah, that's our playoffs. That's just kind of a rundown of who's in it, what to expect, and my personal predictions. So I think Lovecraft and Brendan for the finals when Generations fights Origins. That'll be really cool. But I mean, yeah, my picks would be for Origins, Brendan; for Sinnoh, Lovecraft, personally. I don't think it's any secret. From a practical standpoint, though, Lo-Fi has a decent chance, I think. And then what about Generations? Generations is really tough because there's so many good teams. But probably S-Life, from a practical standpoint, has the best draft, I think. So I think S-Life could be up there. So it could be Lo-Fi S-Life in the finals. That'd be fun. A little fun. Alright, so that's it. This is a short video, just going down to the playoffs. So Season 3 is coming. And we are all, I know everyone's really excited. We've been talking about it for a bit. We've got all the participants are in. Friday, we're going to do a live stream where we shuffle the draft order. I know a couple people are going to join me in that. We're going to have Fissidia and I think Manatee at least joining me in the chat for that stream, so that should be fun. We'll see where everyone's placed. We'll maybe play some Pokemon, and we'll go over a bunch of Season 3 stuff. Then, I think, I'll try to finish up my video on Season 3. I just want to make sure to do a big overview for all the new people so they kind of know what to expect from us. But yeah, that is it for me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little playoff video. Good luck, everybody. I hope... I'm so excited for the playoffs. I hope everybody does well, and everybody just has fun. All right, that's it. See you guys later.